Welcome to Touching Base, a podcast designed to give you strategic insights in a laid-back format. At Kline, primary research is at the cornerstone of what we do. So today, I'll be interviewing two of our researchers and discussing the physician-dispensed skincare market, specifically the results from our physician-dispensed skincare perception and satisfaction survey. We will also be touching on the importance of understanding the consumer in the new normal. I'm your host, Brian Haas, Account Manager for Consumer Products at Kline, and today I have on the phone with me Karen Doskow and Sai Swaroop. Karen is the Director of Consumer Products Research, and Sai is the Project Manager for Consumer Product Research here at Kline. Karen joined us on the podcast last week to discuss the wellness movement, and you can find that on our Kline Group YouTube page, along with all of our other episodes. Karen, Sai, how are you both doing today?
Great. It's Friday. What could be better?
Absolutely.
I know. We still got a little bit of summer here left in the New York City area, so I'm looking forward to the weekend as well. So that's great to hear you're both doing well. Let's jump right in. Sai, how did the results from this year's report differ from prior ones we've conducted in the past?
Yes, definitely interesting, Brian, because this year itself is completely different as compared to all the previous years that we have seen. And so just to put this forward, this year's survey results are definitely more interesting as well as insightful as compared to all our previous editions. And this is mainly due to the current pandemic. So something new that we have included in this edition's report is a section on the impact of COVID-19 on skincare dispensing physicians' business. And this section actually unveiled a lot of new and interesting insights. And I just thought I will share a few of the examples that we felt were really interesting from the survey. So the first thing, yeah, sure. So the first thing was aging. So aging was the major skin concern and the most common skin concern that physicians noted to treat in all the previous years. And based on the survey results, something interesting that came up was that acne has flared up to be the most common skin condition because of the pandemic. And the reason behind this is increased stress as a result of the current health and financial crisis, which has led to a greater number of consumers experiencing stress-induced acne. And the second finding is a combination of from our survey as well as a lot of primary interviews we have done in the past. We had a lot of conversations with physicians as well as professional skincare marketers in early April and May. And during this time, what we learned was that physicians were planning to offer limited services when they start to reopen their offices. However, the survey results completely contradicted. The reason behind physicians have noted that after they have reopened their offices, they are offering most of the aesthetic services. And one of the other interesting findings was mainly to do with increased virtual and digital initiatives. This was mainly done with strong support from professional skincare marketers who were expected to support physicians in whatever ways they could. And in contrast to our last survey results, where only 30% of physicians had operated their own websites, the number of physicians that have started operating their own website in 2020 has significantly increased. And if you listen and if you just get to know the number, it's very, very surprising because 70% is what the survey indicated, that 70% of physicians have started to operate their own website in 2020. So this clearly indicates that a number of physicians have recently launched their own website mainly to sell professional skincare products. And I would just want to give a last example. So this was a critical year for the professional skincare marketers as well. And the survey results were very interesting, and physicians noted that they were pleased with their top revenue generating brands in various ways. The reason behind this is the brands have stepped up to support their practice in all the various ways that they could during this pandemic. So these were some of the key examples that I wanted to share from our report.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting to hear about how physicians themselves, not just the brands, are adapting to the world changing a bit, where you can't have the ability to, go into the office anymore and have that in-person consultation, pivoting their role to make those online stores. You mentioned at the end there about the results and some brands that really exceeded. Were there any surprises in terms of importance or in performance ratings throughout this that you heard back from any of the physicians? Were there any brands that stood out or did anything kind of above and beyond?
Yes, Brian, there were a lot of surprises. So first, I would want to start with the surprises that we heard in terms of importance ratings. So all the attributes that we have in the survey are equally important to physicians. However, the rankings of importance attributes has seen a shift as compared to the previous editions. So in the past editions, what we have observed was that product portfolio and innovation and order to delivery and customer service. These were considered to be the two most important attributes to physicians as compared to all other attributes. However, in 2020, the scenario completely changed as we saw price and value added services becoming the most important attribute to physicians. And this is clearly understandable. The reason being physicians are demanding more value added services such as rebates and discounts that will encourage them to sell more skincare products and also attract the patients to buy more skincare products from them. And another interesting fact that we observed was the marketing attribute. Marketing was not considered to be a very important attribute to physicians in the past, but in this edition, marketing has shifted its gears and it's become one of the most important attribute. And the reasons behind marketing becoming one of the most important attributes were mainly two sub attributes in it. One was consumer promotions, because physicians cited that they were encouraging their marketers to offer more consumer promotions, which will help them sell more skincare products. And the second and most important thing during this pandemic was digital initiatives. And what I mean by digital initiatives in terms of from this perspective is social media engagement. So they have encouraged their marketers to offer social media engagement with their consumers, and they have also had a lot of their physician accounts influence in consumers in terms of the purchasing patterns. And the last important thing under the marketing attribute that physicians noted was samples. So these were the three key sub attributes which physicians have considered to be more important from marketing perspective. And one other surprise that just comes to my mind is like digital or online support that has become a necessity now. In the past few years, what we saw was digital and online support was always there, but it just remained in a place where it had to. But now it has completely changed, and now it's become one of the most important attributes, not only for the marketers out there, even for the physicians. So just to cope up and come back to a point that I mentioned earlier, when we spoke about the websites. So in the past, we had seen only like less than one-fourth of physicians having their own websites. But now the digital initiatives has become a necessity just to support this point, where more than 70% of physicians are operating their e-commerce sites to sell skincare products. And another important surprise that came up in this edition was the performance ratings of brands. So in every edition, we actually ask physicians to rate the performance of the top revenue generating brand. And in this edition, we were surprised to see like Obagi was the clear cut winner, which is completely different from the previous years. Although they did not have a digital platform or to support their accounts. So Obagi was the top performer as compared to all the other leading brands in 2020. So these were some of the surprises that popped up during this edition's report.
That's a lot of surprises, Sai.
Yes,
That's
Karen.
a lot of surprises. I mean, to me, the biggest and so thankful for it is that physicians that we spoke to were very optimistic about the future of their business and of the skincare business. And that's, what was most surprising to me. But I think that there's a lot of really great content that, subscribers or potential subscribers will glean from this this body of research in terms of where the opportunities are for them, as well as challenges.
Yes, Karen, definitely, because now we are in a new normal. It's not the same that we had seen in the past. So coming to the present as well as going into the future,
yes,
the physician dispensed skincare report is going to provide a lot of insights where marketers can bag on a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree with you. And between the physician dispense report that's available this month and our market report, the professional skincare market report in December, and then closing the gap with this new report. I know, Brian, we wanted to kind of chat a little bit about this.
Karen, because I was going to say, it kind of jumps in with something Sai said with the support and, the emphasis on essentially the way to think about that would be more of the customer engagement from the brand level instead of dealing. So it kind of transitions. And I know, like you were saying, so we're trying to close the loop on that type of information. And if you want to touch on and kind of speak about what we have going on that's new, looking into that.
Yeah, that would be great, Bri. So, just kind of closing the loop and giving everyone a 360 view. We're in the throes of engaging potential customers and current customers to participate in our in a subscription way, our professional skincare consumer survey. We've done surveys like this before, but this one is really going to be focused on what is that skincare consumer, the one that goes to a dermatologist for fillers or lasers or oral therapy, or the one that goes to spas for a hydrofacial. What is her intention now in terms of going back to the outlets? Some of them probably have already gone. And so what is it near term and what is it short term? And, we're going to be asking for consumer input for a variety of attributes in terms of, what kind of skincare conditions or concerns do they have? Are these new concerns, that may have been brought on by the pandemic? What types of services are they most interested in having? So we're really excited to try to launch this body of research with 500 consumers. This is going to be a US only study. So I just, pretty excited about that. And then we can just really have a nice 360-degree view of what's going on in the professional skincare world here in the United States.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, Karen, Sai, I think that was a very insightful conversation we had, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Sure thing, Brian.
Yeah, no problem. And so the professional skincare market, as well as most other consumer products markets, is still learning to adapt with the new normal. Here at Kline, we want to make sure we're doing the most we can to get our clients the information they need in this new environment. If you're interested in learning more about the Physician Dispensed Skincare Perception Satisfaction Survey, the new and upcoming Professional Skincare U.S. Consumer Mindset Survey amid COVID-19, or any of our other beauty or consumer reports, please visit the Beauty and Personal Care Market Research page on our Kline website. And as always, please subscribe our YouTube page if you'd like to stay up to date to all Kline podcasts. And I hope both of you enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, Brian. You too.
Thanks,
Bye,
Brian.
Sai.
You too. Bye, Karen. Bye, Brian.
Bye.